The people asked, the people begged, and now they got him. And it's not just on the field, it's on this podcast. We are going to the Tre area. We catch up with, I call him because he's a politician, Tre Obama. But we get to talk to Tre Ford. First of all, congrats and thank you for, during a work week, a prep week, making the time for us. And maybe we'll start right there. When you move up on the depth chart, how are these weeks different for you? How are you building your week and your prep differently now that you are, the leader of the ball club, the politician, the CEO, the face of the franchise?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's long days. Getting here at like 7:30, not leaving till 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock. The days definitely add up, but I'm super happy with my preparation and how it's been this year compared to last year. Not that I think I prepared poorly last year. I just thought I feel like I'm more of a pro now, and I know what to do and how to game plan and how to prep myself to be ready for the game on the weekend. But these short weeks, these are different. When I wasn't playing, I was like, that's 2 paychecks in a week, and now I'm like, I could use a couple days. Body's a little sore here and there.
Especially the way you've been running the ball and taking some hits. Man, I believe it. But listen, I want to know, though, you talk about that transition and the growth that you need to have in order to be able to perform at the level that you're performing at right now. What was the biggest change from leaving, obviously, playing at Waterloo and now being in the big leagues and playing against these guys where, like you said, you have to focus on your preparation?
Yeah, I think a big thing is, I always could rely on my athletic ability, which I think I still do now at the CFL, but I feel like you could just do it a lot more at the U Sports level. But just preparation-wise, just being able to identifying more defenses. Like in U Sports, you'll see cover 4, cover 3, and that's honestly about it. Versus here, lots of cover 0. You'll see a lot of man. You'll see press man. The off man, you'll see a 2 robber. Like, you see all kinds of different defenses, and just getting little keys and tells on which defense they're going to be running, and then trying to put yourself in successful situations against those defenses are super, super key.
Well, Tre, that's not everyone's U Sports experience. You saw a lot of cover 4 and cover 3 because you had 3 people spying you every time you played in U Sports. But what has it been like for you in the transition of teams now saying, well, shoot, we need to spy for this guy, and we need to spy for him with not a middle linebacker or even a Sam. We need to get some speed on the field. Have you started to see teams play you different? Have you started to see players take some different angles now that they're seeing you up close?
Yeah, for sure. I thought Ottawa was kind of, I feel like, the first team that actually went to a true spy. They did a little bit, but Calgary, I feel like, took it to the next level. They had a spy like almost every single play, and it was like, it's weird. I just think maybe they're trying to get in my head, but they're like, we know you can't throw this, that, but they're rushing 3 and they're dropping 9, and we have 4 or 5 receivers running routes, and the windows are smaller, and they're trying to get me to force these throws. But if they're gonna rush 3 and a spy, I'm confident in myself that I can beat the spy 99% of the time. So I'll take the free rushing yards at that point.
Listen, we've seen a good amount. I think enough. DB and myself have been talking about. It's a good amount of of footage that we've seen already of you, with you performing at a high level. And I think everybody in this league actually has taken notice to your talent. What about off the field? I was talking to a little birdie by the name of Bertoya, Chris Bertoya. He told me, first of all, I hear that you cannot play basketball. He told me I have to say this, that he beat you one-on-one. But talk to me about what do you do? Like, what does Tre Ford do on his off time, on his downtime, on a longer week, not on such a short week? Because I hear you building houses now.
Yeah, for sure. That's more of the off season. Into the real estate, got a couple properties. I did a little bit of plumbing, electrical, and stuff this off season. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. It's actually not that bad. But honestly, like, now that I'm in the season here, my wife and daughter are here. My daughter's really young, not my wife. My daughter's really young, so we take her to like these little baby classes, take her to the library and stuff, and just do a whole bunch of activities with her, and she started crawling now, so she's always on the move. So I'll be here till about 6 o'clock. Then I'll go home and just spend a couple hours with her, and maybe play a couple video games for like an hour, and then call it a day, and then just repeat from there. So
we had the Netflix NFL quarterback series following 3 QBs. I need the CFL version, and I need Tre Ford. Because I need this guy, I need to see him going from making throws in the offseason to being a general contractor, evidently. The man can do everything. But you're building your game brick by brick. And everyone mentions the athleticism, the running. But I do think what gets lost is your ability to pass, your willingness to pass, and the transformation that you've made on that end. Because it's your ability to pass that has gotten you on the field to allow that athleticism to show itself. What has that been like in terms of refining your physical throwing mechanics, but also your decision-making and reading defense and knowing where to go with the football?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of developed over time, especially when J-Jack got the OC role, just going more through reads and where to go with the ball against certain defenses. And like this year, just compared to last year I felt like I was really eyes all over the place trying to see the whole field, versus this year now versus certain defense. I almost know pre-snap where I want to go with the ball. If it's there, then get to the next read and kind of go from there. So I just feel like I've developed to, at this point, where to go with the ball pre-snap, which I feel like is super, super key for me. And, just go 1, 2 to 3. If it's not there, then I have the ability to take off.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're proving right now that you're able to stay in the pocket and throw and be effective in that manner as well. And obviously, if you get let out and let loose, you'll have more damage. But I think another thing, DB, that gets lost is, especially for a quarterback that we don't necessarily see all the time on the field, is the leadership quality. I mean, I hear nothing but great things from all your teammates, and having a guy like J-Jack, obviously, to lean on as your new OC is extremely helpful. But talk to us about the leadership, that growth aspect of things from the leadership perspective. Because if you're in a huddle and you got to talk to, you're a second-year guy now, and you got to talk to a Gino who's been performing at a high level in this league. Like, how did you get to the place where you can communicate to these guys, and what can you tell a young quarterback that's trying to be young Tre Ford as well?
It's a tough question, to be honest, because I never felt like when I went into the huddle, like, I know Gino's a great receiver and, I mean, like a complete stud, but I've never felt like when I was in there, like I was scared to tell him something or anything like that. Like, I kind of feel like we're on the same page right away, and I mean, if he shrugs me off, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, can't do much about it, but I'm also not, like, looking at his body language and what he's worried about during the game. Like, I'm focused on my reads and what I have to do to get through the next play to be successful. But, I mean, I can't say anything but good things. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him try to shrug me off or anything. I think I have a good communication with the O-line and all of our receivers, and I just feel like they've made it really easy. Like, they've embraced me, and they were willing to put me in that leadership role.
How do you think you're going to be remembered when you're going to be done? Like, what is your legacy? It's kind of early, but what is Tre Ford's legacy, and what are you working towards that being?
Yeah, honestly, like, I've never really thought about it, to be honest. I don't like to look too far ahead. I mean, even people are asking me, would I like to go to the playoffs? Absolutely. Do I have my eye on it? Sure, but I mean, none of that really matters if we can't win the week-to-week game, right? So I'm just really focused on what I can do in a week and, looking forward to game day. Every rep matters. You're going to make the most out of every rep possible. But legacy-wise, like, I mean, I would say I really want to be remembered as a competitor. That's the big thing. Like, I just want to go out there and get the opportunity to compete and try to help my team win. Like, that's all I can do, and that's what I want to do for my team.
Well, you're already the competitor that broke the street, so you're going in the right direction so far.
Certainly, and like honestly, when you look at the last month of football, outside of the two teams that played in the Grey Cup, the team that's put the best football on tape has been Edmonton, right? And so, before we get you out of here, the last question is, what does success look like? Like, as you evaluate the last stretch of this season, for this season to be a success for you, for the Elks, what does that look like? What does success look like for you?
I mean, if I was just to say what success looks like off the bat, I would say it looks like winning, to be honest. I mean, I think it really comes down to winning, but even looking back, like, not at the Calgary game we just played, but the one before that, like, I wasn't super happy with our offense, and we still put up 31 points, which is pretty good. But, I mean, like, just looking back at film, like, we left some things on the field. I don't think we've ever actually played a full 4 quarters. Even the game we just won, like, I feel like offensively we didn't really pick it up till the fourth quarter, right? And I don't know, I just feel like we're capable of a lot in this locker room, and we have really big plans, and I feel like we can go execute, and we just got to play those 4 quarters. And, I mean, we're going to be a dangerous football team. So, I mean, I know we started off 0-9, but, I mean, if we can just continue to win and get in the playoffs, I mean, I think we're a dangerous team, and I think we can beat anybody.
So this is why he's great on multiple levels. One is he's successful because he's not satisfied. So you saw the competitor there, but also he's successful because he's a politician. He said a lot of things and they made sense, but he didn't really answer the question.
He definitely
He's not going to let us pin him down. Already a veteran as a QB, both on the field and with the media. Hey man, continued success. We've been having so much fun watching the ride that you and the Elks fans and the entire country really have been on, and can't wait to see what's next. So keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.